Compared to the rest of the world, America tends to be a lot more flexible and understanding of different behaviors. While certain customs that we're used to are considered normal here, we can't say that goes for every country. If you're planning on traveling elsewhere sometime soon, you might be interested in these 20 American customs that might seem as rude or impolite abroad. Number 1, wearing shoes indoors. A hotly debated topic all over the internet, you've probably wondered yourself whether it's okay or not to wear shoes indoors. The truth is, in many Asian countries like China and Japan, not taking off your shoes is considered immensely disrespectful. You might as well have just told them that their house looks terrible. It's essentially the same thing. Number 2, tipping generously. Although tipping culture is deeply ingrained in American culture, that doesn't mean it's the same for other places around the world. In fact, in certain countries like Australia, Japan, South Korea, and more, tipping isn't customary. It might even come across as disrespectful if you try to force it. Number 3, being loud in public. It's not like Americans are screaming to their friends when they talk in public, but other countries can be rather sensitive to noise levels. In places like Finland or Japan, they value quiet a lot more than we do. Disrupting the peace will definitely get you a nasty look or two. Number 4, using first names immediately. It's a little weird to think about, but some countries don't call people by their first name when introduced to someone new. That is, when you first meet someone, you might be expected to call them by a certain title or last name until you become close enough. Think about it as if calling someone by their first name is a privilege only given to people you know well. Number 5, eating on the go. While you might be used to grabbing a quick bite to go during busy work days or peaceful strolls through the park, that's not as widely accepted in other countries like France and Italy. The idea of takeout and eating while moving are two things you won't see very often there. Number 6, directness in communication. It's safe to say, compared to other countries, Americans have a tendency to be rather direct with their speech. While it's something you may be used to, for others around the world, it can be seen as rude or even disrespectful. These more reserved countries tend to practice indirect communication where group mentality is more valued than individual opinion. Number 7, hugging and touching. You know how many of us greet strangers with a handshake or friends with a hug? Yeah, that won't fly in places like Japan and South Korea. Hugging and touching a stranger or someone you don't know well, especially in public places, is behavior you'll rarely see. It just simply isn't part of their culture. Number 8, showing the bottoms of your feet. This is one behavior that is looked down upon in many countries across the Middle East and Asia. While Americans aren't too fussy about bare feet, it is a big deal elsewhere in the world. Because the bottoms of your feet are considered the dirtiest part of your body, showing your soles or pointing your feet at someone is one of the rudest things you can do. Definitely watch out for that when you travel to other countries. Number 9, talking about money. As a country built off the idea of the American dream and finding success, you won't find people who are too shy to talk about money and finances here in the US. But for other countries, it can be quite the uncomfortable topic. Let's just say not all people are as open to talking about salaries as we are. Number 10, laughing with your mouth open. In certain countries in Asia, you'll often find people, particularly women, laughing with their hand over their mouth. While it's not exactly rude to not do that, you would definitely look out of place. It's been said that they do this as a sign of respect and politeness. Number 11, blowing your nose in public. The next time you've got the sniffles, you might want to avoid traveling to Japan, China, or South Korea until you get over it. That's because these countries aren't a huge fan of blowing your nose in public. While you wouldn't even get a second glance in America, in these places, you'll even see locals trying to hold it in until they're in a more private spot. Number 12, giving a thumbs up. Although the thumbs up gesture has positive connotations in America, you're going to be mind blown hearing that that's not the case elsewhere. That's right, this sign of approval that means great job actually means something less friendly in places like Greece and certain parts of the Middle East. Number 13, sitting in the back of a taxi. You might not think twice about jumping into the back seat when calling a taxi, But according to some people on Reddit, over on the other side of the world, the Aussies and Kiwis have a thing or two to say about it. In Australia and New Zealand, you'll find that most tend to sit in the passenger seat next to the driver. Sitting in the back is considered rude because it's as if you're not treating the driver as your equal. Number 14, leaving food on your plate. In many Asian cultures, there's nothing more disrespectful you can do at the dinner table than leaving food behind on your plate to be thrown away. Not only is it seen as wasteful, it's a sign that you didn't enjoy the meal. There are also a lot of superstitions surrounding it, showing just how seriously Asians view this behavior. Number 15, smiling at strangers. For most countries in North America, smiling at strangers isn't a foreign concept. It's almost like second nature for us, but in countries like Russia, you'll be surprised to hear it has the opposite effect. Smiles are mostly reserved for friends and people they know, so at times, smiling at strangers can seem odd or strange. Number 15, pointing with your finger. You definitely want to avoid pointing with your index finger if you're planning on traveling to Indonesia or Malaysia. While it might not mean much in America, it's incredibly impolite to do it in these countries. Instead of using one finger, which they deem to be rude, they tend to gesture with their entire hand or chin if they want to point something out. Number 17, hand gestures while talking. Following that point, another similar behavior that might come across poorly in certain Asian countries is making excessive hand gestures while talking. Anything from pointing to waving your hands around for no reason can come across as too dramatic or even aggressive. Asian countries are generally a lot more reserved than America, so it's important to respect how they treat body language there. Number 18, chewing gum. If you're heading to Singapore, make sure you toss out any gum you have on hand before leaving the airport. Why? You'll be shocked to hear that chewing gum in public isn't allowed. In fact, Singapore took it as far as to ban it. Number 19, public displays of affection. Listen, excessive PDA is already a bit frowned upon in the States, so imagine just how seriously other countries take it. In many Middle Eastern and Asian countries, any form of kissing or hugging in public is seen as inappropriate, unacceptable, and possibly illegal in certain places. There's just a firm belief that you shouldn't be doing things that make other people uncomfortable. Number 20, discussing politics and religion. Sometimes we take for granted America's freedom of speech and what that means for us. In comparison to other countries around the world, the US is a lot more flexible and open about discussing various topics. But if there's one out there that isn't as welcome in other parts of the world, it's politics and religion. Wanting to avoid discourse, talking about this in public is generally avoided. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.